Hi, I'm Dr. Greg Castello, board certified family practice, and today we're going to talk about bird flu or Asian flu. And there's a new strain of bird flu out, but the original bird flu was back actually 10 years ago, 2003. That was an H5N1 influenza virus, and there was about 600 in some cases worldwide with over 370 deaths. So of all the people that got this Asian flu, more than half of them died. This flu was originally found in birds, domesticated birds, and the people who got the bird flu almost exclusively were people who lived in very close quarters or even slept with the birds in very rural populations, and the flu was transmitted to humans and was more than 50% fatal. The good news about that bird flu was that there was either none or very little human-to-human transmission. So if you got bird flu from one of your animals, it was almost impossible that you would actually give it to another human being, and the transmission would stop at you. The current bird flu is in China, and it's on the eastern seaboard, primarily Shanghai, but there's been some other cases noted as well, and this has been very recent. Different strain, an H7N9 version of influenza, also originally found in animals or birds, thus the name bird flu or Asian flu because of the geographic location. This flu likewise seems to be transmitted from domestic animals primarily to human beings, and there's been no reported human-to-human transmission. It seems to be a little bit less deadly, but still significantly so. There's been about 104 reported cases so far, of which there's been 21 deaths, so about 1 in 5 people who contract this H7N9 bird flu die from it so far. It's very early in the epidemic. We don't know where it started specifically. We don't know where it's going. It's still in China only. It may be in domestic birds. It may as well be in wild birds like geese that migrate, and there's no way to control migrating animals. So if you have a infected goose who actually is not sick with the virus, they can travel 1,000 miles and bring the virus to a completely different location or different country. There's over 6 billion domestic birds in China alone, so there's as many domestic birds as there are humans on the planet in just China. So slaughtering or culling the animal stocks is probably not going to be a likely treatment for this. The good news for right now, and the good news with the previous bird flu, was there was not human-to-human transmission. There is absolutely a possibility, and this was discussed in 2003 as well, if someone were to contract bird flu, which is not human-to-human contagious, if they actually caught human regular influenza at the same time, which is very human-to-human contagious, there was a likelihood that the two viruses could merge DNA, and then you would have a influenza that was not only deadly, but also very communicable or transmittable from human to human. If you multiplied those numbers and said 10 million people get influenza in the United States every year, and you had a 50 or even a 20% death rate from that, you're talking about 2 to 5 million deaths in just the United States, and probably 100 or more million deaths worldwide from this infection. So right now, both the 2003 bird flu, the current bird flu, both very serious, both deadly, but neither are significantly spread human to human. We're heading into the end of the flu season here, so there's less likelihood that someone would contract seasonal flu at the same time as having bird flu, but that's always been the concern, was that the two viruses would join and you would have both deadly as well as communicable. I'm going to go ahead and post further updates as this goes on if there's more interesting information. The other good news right now is that the virus seems to be treatable with Tamiflu and Relenza, so the current influenza medicines we have for traditional flu also seem to treat the bird flu. And if you remember back in 2003, there was a run on the pharmacies and stockpiles worldwide of the influenza medications because we weren't sure what was going to happen. So I'll keep you posted if things are changing or different, but keep an eye on bird flu number 2, 2013. Dr. Greg Castello, thanks.